Hello, Event Hustlers. Happy Tuesday, and welcome to yet another episode of the Event Hustler Show. For those of you who might be joining for the first time, my name is Liz King Caruso with Liz King Events, and I love to host this show every week. It's an opportunity for me to talk to primarily other independent event professionals in our industry and learn about their careers and their businesses and get that scoop that you like to get over a good coffee or a cocktail, but we can't always meet up in person. And when I get to meet up with fabulous people like our guest today, Jaclyn Bernstein, you guys don't get to listen in usually. So this is our opportunity to do that.
Great.
Jackie, thank you so much for joining us from Empire Force Events, taking your time on a Tuesday.
Formerly known as Empire Force Events, now Access New York Metro.
Sorry.
I'll explain about that. It's okay.
Welcome. It's a good way to kick off our live show by saying our own company name. So let's get started. This casual conversation is, I never prep our guests. So it's always kind of whatever we feel like talking about. And if you are watching live, I encourage you to ask your own questions and comments, share your comments because we can share those on the screen as well and we can talk about them. But why don't we just get started? Jackie, you are an iconic woman in the events industry, especially in the New York City area. And I've had the pleasure to know you for many years. You've spoken at my NYU class several times, and you are everywhere in the industry. And one of those event hustlers that I've looked up to for many years. So I would love if you could just start by telling our audience a little bit about who you are, what you do, why you're so amazing, anything you want to share.
Who I am, what I do, and why am I so amazing? Okay, it's because I could wear high heels all day and night working at events. How about that to start out with? Okay,
I think that's amazing, right up there.
That's always about hustling. But are we allowed to share this? Because it's going to be really funny. Both of us are barefoot right now while we're on our webcast here. So that's exciting. We work hard late at night. Thank you very much, Aaron Kaufman, for saying I'm boss. And but we really get to hustle while we're out there doing the work. And who I am, well, let's start out with what we were just talking about when I mentioned the company name. So I am president, partner, and owner, and the proud manager of our family team at Access New York Metro. We are formerly known as Empire Force Events. The company that me and my business partner, Robert Holzmeyer, own is actually 37 years young. I like to say young, who doesn't like a 37-year-old young person, right? But of course, I have not been here that long. That's impossible. But I worked here fresh out of college after going to an organizational meeting of the International Live Events Association, originally known as the International Special Events Society, with my college resume in hand. Met a lot of people in the industry, met my business partner that night, and then started working at a boutique destination management company called Tour de Force Events. And then a couple of years later, me and my business partner, Robert Holzmeyer, bought the company from the previous owner, and we created Empire Force Events. That was 25 years ago this year. A little crazy.
Congratulations.
And thank you very much. And then 5 years ago, we bought into the exciting destination management brand, Access, which is celebrating its 50th anniversary this year, the longest destination management brand out there, exciting, as well as them being the founders. The CEO's father invented the term, is that the word? Coined the term destination management back in 1972. So 5 years ago, we bought into that brand. So we now operate as Access New York Metro. I am a very historical approach. So when you ask about who I am, I built everything I'm doing now and going forward based on the history of what we built going back. So it's exciting to add and share all those different milestones with all of you here this year and today. Funny enough, that president of the International Live Events Association, the founding president ever, I'm actually meeting with him tonight. He's speaking at an ILEA event. I'm having lunch with him and drinks with him. So just very excited how it all comes full circle because I owe my career to everyone that comes before me.
You are a true hustler. And congratulations on all the growth and the evolution. What makes you different in the New York City market? Because there are obviously a lot of planners in the city, but what you do is very unique.
There are a lot of planners in the city. There are destination management companies. I have the best, friendliest competitors. There are a lot of event producers, a lot of independent planners. Obviously, in the past couple of years, there's been a real surge of them. What we feel is different is part of our core values here at our company, where consistency, visibility, and fun. So you kicked it off today We're very visible. Yes, I personally am very visible. Always out there at industry events, always out there seeing what's new. I learn something every day in this profession. Either things we can make fun of with the clients and vendors we work with, or things that we shouldn't do. So that's a great learning experience. But being out there and being visible is truly what's made our company, I feel, really shine. Consistency, we are so blessed. I am blessed. And if any of my employees are actually my employees, my team members, my family listening, we have those on our team that range from 19 years to a couple of months, but 19, 16, 15, 13, that is pretty much the structure of our business here. I like to say we're building an empire. Now we're giving you the access. And even my most recent team member comes from a DMC in Russia. So it's very exciting how we have people that have been here, their careers came from other event companies. Have to shout out to Andrea Michaels, our employee that's going to be here 20 years, started there 20 years ago, and then came onto our team because she wanted to live in New York. And then here we are with a DMC from Russia. So we feel that taking care of our employees and our family team and being flexible with work hours and what they need to do, because our clients are not flexible with us, right? The event happens before 9 or after 6 on a weekend. What are you going to do? So we want to make sure that we take care of our team so we can take care of our clients. That is very significant of us. And the last core value, consistency, visibility, is have fun. We are planning, I hate to use the word parties, but for the purposes of this conversation, we plan parties for God's sakes. We're innovating event experiences for our clients and their guests. We are not saving lives here. If the 20th dessert does not come out on the station that we plan for, we are all going to survive and we will financially take care of it. But we need to keep into perspective what we do here every day. It's sort of funny when we're researching venues and entertainers and decor that's a real profession. That's what we do. So we are very focused on the details. That's, I think, what our clients love about us. And again, the consistency, we'll say to them, you did the red balloons a couple of years ago. This year, try a different color, or we're going to hold that price for you because you're such a long-standing client. So the consistency is important, but we truly have to have fun and keep it into perspective what we're doing and take care of our own.
Yeah. And how are you personally still having fun after many years of being in the business? I know a lot of people talk about just getting burned out, and it seems like your pace never slows down. Day to day, year to year. You love what you do. I think that's very clear. How do you keep that energy and freshness and I mean, obviously, I think you thrive off of the connections. We were joking before we went live that you're like dressed up and ready to go for a full day. I'm sitting at my house in yoga pants and definitely more introverted. I think you thrive off of that. But what else keeps you so excited about the industry?
First of all, I love that you say that you're introverted, Liz, because you are everywhere. You are so technology focused. Here I am with this goofy headset on, trying to get it organized, but you're always out there in the business. So I guess you're introverted just amongst yourself.
I'm only out there online.
That's right. Okay.
You never really see me at events.
That's a great way to tie into the answer to your question. How do we keep it fresh? How do we keep having fun? It's a funny concept that we could do an event today, and then tomorrow we could be at the same venue, same caterer, same decorative design, kind of rinse and repeat. And quite honestly, I don't have any shame in that. I feel that our team can execute better sometimes, and you make more profit, which is not a shame, by doing what you've just done and utilizing your supplier partners over and over again. So that's one side of it. The other side, to keep it fresh and having fun, is seeing what's new that's out there. You enlighten us to what's new that's out there with your conferences and the work that you do and what you promote. And for us, God, when I started in this profession, I mean, I am so young, but there was no internet. So now it's exciting to get invitations, or while you're researching one thing, seeing what else pops up. I walk all throughout the city in my high heels and love to see new venues and love to meet new vendors. So going to industry events, I met someone once that said, I know I don't need to go. I heard it all. I'm not going to teach me anything new.
Yeah.
And complete opposite. So our team is constantly resourcing and researching and going to events to keep it fresh for us. So as much as we love to work with our vendor supplier partners that we've known for so many years, that we trust, that makes it easy, that again, it's consistency for us, that we can service our clients well, make it easier on us. And okay, no shame in here, make more money. There's also the flip side when we get to do something that we've never done before. We love when clients say, I'm not really sure how you could do this. Of course we can do this. I have another phrase that I say: if we've never added a new client to our accounts receivable list, I'd be okay as long as we expanded the work that we did with the clients that we have. But on the flip side, and this is going to be my big mantra here, and our team knows this, and anyone that refers us business through the Access brand and keeps in the community knows that as much as we love having new clients, we do not want to start a project or a proposal or anything without engaging with them live. As much as I have clients that text, don't even email anymore. Millennials don't even want to even email. They want to do everything through text or Monday or Slack, etc. But the real key is if we're going to innovate someone's event experience live, not like we're doing today, in a venue or outside somewhere or closing down a street and getting a permit from the mayor's office or whatever we may do for the event activation, that's going to be a live experience. And the best way to start that experience to get to know our client, what they want, what they don't want, because a lot of times clients can't verbalize what they want, but they can tell you what they don't, is by connecting live. So if anyone out there can promote this, everyone out there, is that we strongly believe that if a client doesn't want to give us the time to get on a phone and hear it in their voice, of what they are excited about, what they've done in the past, and learn about us, then we just don't really feel that that's going to work for us in putting a proposal together. Could we send a quick price? That's easy. But we want to know what we need to innovate, what the story is, what we are going to do that's different for them, that can help them solve their objectives. And we have to do that with live conversation. And that's part of keeping it fun and getting the experiences out there.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much more you can learn about a person when you have an in-person conversation with them, even if it was on a platform like this where you're at least interacting, you're seeing their facial expressions, but even better if you're in person. And that's why I think the events industry, will live forever and ever and ever and be successful for many, many years, because people like to be in person. They like those in-person connections much more than, yes, you can text to get things done, but that's not the way proposals should be written or client relationships should be formed. So I totally believe in that.
It's why drinking alone is shunned, but when you go out somewhere to an event, having cocktails is okay.
Yes, exactly. So I wanted to hear, one of the questions I had for you is I wanted to hear about your perspective on the industry over the last 10, 20 years. I think things have changed. I've been in the industry officially 10 years. So that's where my 10 comes from. But I know you've been in a little bit longer than me, a day or two. And I just wonder what your thoughts are on positives, negatives, trends, anything that you have to say that you feel like you wish the events industry would think about things or know certain things that because you've seen it, and you just wish we were all talking about it more.
I thought you were going to say I've seen it all, because I don't think I've seen it all yet.
No,
I'm on that track to do it. I'm on that track to do that. Since the company I own, do you hear me okay? Yeah. Since the company I own, I worked at when I graduated college. This is my only job. So either I'm very unhireable, or I just figured job security is to buy the company that you work at. And I need to put this out there. Everyone knows that I talk about this. I grew up in Brooklyn. Daddy didn't buy me a company. I grew up on welfare and food stamps. I really worked my way in order to buy this company, take care of our team. The team comes first. And I believe that kind of mantra is what kept them here. What's interesting in now owning this company all this time and being in this one place is to see such as how technology has changed it all. And even what you're very involved with, and I've been fortunate to be a guest speaker at NYU with you, and I've been an adjunct professor there in the past and speak at industry events, is that, and this is even funnier today since I'm going to be with Jeff Goldblatt again, the founding ILEA president, that when I met him at that first industry event with my resume, he said, students are going to be the future of this profession. And what was very interesting is that at that event, he was, I don't want to say he was an event producer. He was not involved with the universities and the degrees and all the work that he did. So he saw his future change. So now when I went to school, there was one paragraph in my advertising book about a public relations event. And that's where I knew what I wanted to do. I was president of my class for 4 years at college, very involved in events, but at the time we called it corporate party planning. No one knew what this profession existed. Yeah. Now, here you are at NYU all the time. There are certificate programs, undergrad programs, continuing education programs all over the country and the world, specifically focused on event production and management, and even destination management, which I obviously have a strong feeling for, and then decorative design and lighting, et cetera. So that has been a huge change that started in my whole career, that when you look to hire someone now, they if they have that background where they've gone to classes in this profession, that says a lot about them, that they've taken the initiative prior to graduating to learn a lot more about this profession. That definitely is a big change. Obviously, the availability of resources has been a blessing for us. As I said earlier, you just type in the first 2 letters of something and it pops up of what you're looking for.
Yeah.
That's a fun game we always play in here when we ask a question. The big answer is, who knows? And we just go to Google. But at the time when I started working, we didn't have this. We had one computer in the office we all shared. We got everything by fax on that thermal paper. And we weren't able to be as resourceful as we are now. The only challenge to that is it truly is distressing when clients will say, well, what do I need you for? I could just find that and book that direct and pay less from the internet. And there are a lot of times you say, well, then you can go do that. There's just a value add to what us as destination management company or event producers or even meeting planners internally in their company to their stakeholders who are going to be their clientele can offer, that we are providing a value service of what we do. And we are taking our pricing, and I've done discussions about pricing. We could do a whole nother discussion about this online, but we're taking the cost that we're getting and we're adding value by managing and servicing it, coordinating it, and many times contracting and handling. There are a lot of major corporations out there that can't put through contracts and signing legal documents as quickly as a privately held small business enterprise can do. So there's a value to that. And as much as we talked just a little bit ago about speaking with clients live, we're constantly asking clients, how do you want to see our pricing? And of course, they'll say line item. We know that. We know we're not going to give you one big price. Here's $250,000 for your whole event, and here's a list of all the elements. We're going to price it out for you. But do you want a transparent cost plus? Do you want a management fee? What are percentages that you're used to? We find that sometimes you give a client a price and they'll say, wow, I didn't know it was going to be that high a percentage. What are you comfy with? Clients can easily tell you, thank you very much. Clients can easily tell you what they don't like or what they think is expensive, but they can't tell you what they necessarily feel the value of something would be. Well, I think you should make 2% or 42% or whatever it may be. No price fixing here on this call. So we want to ask clients questions and get their feel. We ask them, what have you seen other companies do? I don't know. They just give me a lump sum number. So we feel that by asking these questions, we're making a change from what we've seen past 10 years ago in your career time span, 20 years time span, 20 years ago. And even when I started in the profession where everything was just marked up inclusively, just throw some money in there and add can I say PIA fee? Does anyone know what PIA fee is? I'm not going to tell you. Pain in the tush, okay? You got some Yiddish in there. So I think it's very important. I feel, and as does our team, and my business partner, Rob, has supported us on this to really be forthcoming. Not all clients want transparent pricing. We've had some clients that say, don't show your cost and then your fee because my boss is not going to like that I'm using an external company, but I know I need you. That's an interesting perspective, but then we learn from that conversation. So I believe separate from resourcing and everything on technology and everything with the students being reared in these programs in school, that the way we price and being price effective, I don't like the word cost. I hate the word budget. Budget always sounds low. Let's come in under budget. It's your financial investment. See how much better that sounds? The financial investment for you as a client to invest in us as a company to then service and execute and do the ideation. I said that for you, Jennifer Claire Scott, of what the story is of your event. And we also tell our clients, we're not imperialists here. We can do as much or as little as you want us to do. We're the partner on this. You want to find the venue and have us bring everything in? Do we want to do everything? Of course. We wake up to produce live event experiences, but we recognize that we have to be partners with our clients, especially where, going back to the other big change in our profession, has been the institution of the internet and everything being so available. And one more thing, let's talk about Instagram and Facebook. No one is putting crappy pictures of their events online. They are putting all the incredible decor and look at this great load in, look at this great entertainment. And I think we all have to have it into perspective. And I actually did this once, very short story, believe me or not, is that my team's laughing here, short story, is that we posted a picture, recently I did this, of a dinner in a private room at a steakhouse, white tablecloth, not floor length short. It was just a private room. Believe it or not, there were no centerpieces. I had to get more votive candles to throw them in the middle of the table with, the salt and pepper shakers. We've all dealt with that in the middle of the table. This was a no frills event. However, it was so successful because we found the client a venue within walking distance of what they were looking for. We found a venue that had a private room that gave them the right amount of cocktails outside, recept outside, and then dine inside, right space, just the right look, right price value. It was a New York institution, but it wasn't a massive production, although we like to say we make a production of everything. All those elements and finding them and producing it to a T and making sure there was a white and a water glass and making sure everything was just evenly spaced. And even though it wasn't long linen, the chairs were not pushed in. That was the production, but it wasn't a glamorous, gorgeous event. And I posted that on Instagram, and I remember sitting with Preston Bailey, who is truly one of the most fabulous event designers ever. And I was telling this at an industry event. He went, "Oh my God, no centerpieces." I said, "But this client just didn't need them. They wouldn't call you for that event. They happened to have called us." So it's interesting how we need to put into perspective, not everything you read on the internet is so true, although I'm not posting any lies on there, but not everyone is posting that crazy client and the crazy situation that happened behind the scenes. And I think we should be more forthcoming about logistics, and a successful event is not always about the most glamorous, gorgeous event.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely that like Pinterest epidemic. Clients come and they're like, they already have everything mapped out. As you said, sometimes they feel like they can do it themselves because it looks so easy, because it's all done. They don't realize how to do it all. But you're bringing up a good point, not just about like the pictures we show of our events and things like that, but who we are online. And I had posted earlier, brought up on screen, Nick Borelli's watching, and he talks about how you have such a great perspective on transparency. And Aaron Kaufman was watching earlier as well, and he's probably still watching. And I saw he posted yesterday about, how do you define authenticity was, I think, one of the posts on his own Facebook wall. And it's an interesting topic. And I was surprised that you brought it up as well. Just the idea of sharing not only our events, but ourselves online in ways that are not just the glitz and the glamour, but the back end stories. I always say, if you get a group of event planners around a cocktail or two and you start talking about horror stories, the night is over. Like, everyone could talk forever. How do you balance that with your own personal life and business, what you share on social, what you don't, how that affects your business? Do you put a lot of thought, or do you just kind of put it out there and see what happens?
What personal life, I'd like to ask you. I'm a little confused here by this question. I think it's interesting because obviously I started this career in this business fresh out of college, that it's become very melded. Some of my besties in my life and in my world are through those who I met throughout business. Yeah. And think about it. You have friends that are not in this business or family, and going out to dinner is such a big thing. I mean, grow up in Brooklyn, you go into the city. Right now, I'm living near Manhattan now. My company's near Manhattan now. But going out to the city it's such a big deal. Whereas for us, I pretty much am out, Monday through Thursday at an industry event. Where? At a venue. What are we doing? We're sampling their cocktails. Well, I'm just a vodka wine drinker. Eating their food. I don't eat at events, but that's a whole nother story. But experiencing what the look and the setup is. And for us, that just becomes natural. Putting out there what I do personally it's so interrelated for what I do professionally. And I think it adds, and my branding manager, Fernando Valencia, will say that it adds perspective of who you are, that you are a real person, that you're doing something goofy one day, or you're just letting your hair down, as the saying goes. My hair is pretty much always down. You're kicking your shoes. So actually, I posted, I was at Shannon Fraser from our company, one of our employees for 16 years. I was at her home in Wisconsin Sunday, and I posted a picture of me. It was full length, and I wasn't wearing heels because I was wearing flats. It was raining. I was going to get on a plane, and someone posted that. So talk about how you have a persona online, and then they see a picture of you, and I didn't live up to that persona for that moment. I actually felt so guilty of that for a moment. So it's just interesting, but I think it adds some warmth to it. I try to, you talk about it being introverted. A lot of my team doesn't necessarily want to be promoted out there. If I tag them on something, I get the eye roll and they get all these comments after it. But I'm so proud of them. I'm constantly, if anyone knows me, I'm saying our family team, because I love being out there and being a persona and engaging people. I am totally not a salesperson. I hope people want to work with our company because of just who I put out there personally with our team. But they allow me, maybe they don't allow me, I don't really care, I own the company, but they give me the space and the ability to go out there and do what I do, then to whether bring a new vendor in or bring new business back into the team. So that's really important to take care of them. And that's why I want to share them so much online. Which other employee did I reference today? Sheridan Doherty, she'll be here 20 years. Maria Kastenson from Russia. So Lisa Candido. So we just really love chatting about our team. I'm very proud of them. And they could not be any more different than me. Everyone is so different from me. They're different from each other. And that's what makes a great mix. And I think that's who I am now, is realizing when new business comes in, who'd be the right fit, who to pair people up with. We don't have anyone in our company with the title sales. We don't sell, we engage, we account manage, we produce. It's not operations. Granted, the event profession is so much made up of logistics. Again, it's not about the pretty. To get that pretty decorative design or something rigged in the ceiling or closing a street requires a lot of logistics. And that's where our prowess is and where our experience is. And being so knowledgeable in New York City, I have to give a shout out. I'm very honored to be the key representative of the event and meetings, the MICE, meetings, incentives, conventions, exhibitions industry on the board of directors of NYC and Company. So for me as a New Yorker, and being able to share that and represent our profession on the official marketing agency of the City of New York, our Convention and Visitors Bureau, is truly a passion of mine. I will do anything for this city and wanting to see more events come here. And obviously this is where we focus on doing our events in this area. So that's exciting for me that's who I am out there. And it's, again, who I am personally.
Yeah. Now I want to do a time check because time flies and it's already almost 11 o'clock. And I know you have lunch.
This was a 2-hour webcast.
I know. We need to talk for much longer than 30 minutes. Are you okay for another 5-10 minutes?
I'm good. I have nothing else to do. My team's doing all the work.
Okay. This is the good thing about going live because we have great people watching. So if you guys are watching and have any questions or comments for Jackie, please keep sending them in and we can bring them on. And of course, I have like a billion more questions for you, but we'll just have to, for the sake of time and your lunch plans, we'll have to crunch it in.
They can wait. So I rarely ever go out for lunch. Don't you find doing lunch in the middle of the day, it just breaks up your day? You got to get there, you got to sit, you got to eat, you got to come back, and then you have to have a cocktail. So, but a shout out, I'm going to be with David Adler of BizBash and Richard Aaron, who's retired, but from BizBash, and Diane Devitt. I love shouting out to people.
And they all love you for it too, of
Thank
course. So one last question from me, and then we'll see if we have any other straggling questions. What is one of the biggest challenges that you faced in running your business, in particular in New York City, doing events? Anything that you can share. It could be something that you face today or something that you have faced in the past, and you can tell us how you kind of overcame it. But I think on the running a business side of things, there's always, I think we all have a ton of challenges. So what's one that comes to mind when I ask you that question?
Well, since you mentioned New York, I mean, being a business owner in New York City, we are the most expensive city. There are days I wake up thinking, how do we still do what we do? And God willing, we will still continue what we do. We've had some challenging times here in New York City with September 11th for those specific reasons. And then the aftermath business-wise, and also 2008, 2009. And balancing it out, being a business owner, I have a partner I'm very fortunate to have, and as well as with our team, they've stayed here consistently, but the challenge is keeping them engaged. That's why we have so much flexibility here. But running a business in New York, besides it being expensive, we'll get clients that expect of us to be more expeditious than if they talk to our DMC counterpart on the West Coast. Because we're New Yorkers, everyone expects everything fast. And quite honestly, because we're New Yorkers, we respond fast. I'll get back to a client an hour after email comes in, apologizing I didn't get back to them sooner. My employees, my team thinks I'm crazy, but we want to just be, they just said they don't think I'm crazy just because of that. But we want to be, we are a fast-paced city. So our responsibility to our clients is to just respond. And I think that's another challenge about being a business owner. And again, with everything that happens technology-wise, everyone's expecting quicker responses. So we need to be expeditious. And even myself, I need to know when to take a step back and to tell the client, hey, we couldn't get in touch with you today. We can get this to you the next day. We need to all recognize that. That's the challenges of being a business owner in New York. And everything is just fast-paced here. So that ties into the lives that we lead, even personally.
Yeah.
So I just think, though, the credit is for us that the team has stayed so consistent over that time because of what we've done to help balance it. I don't really have much balance. I'm just always wild and crazy and out there, but I feel I need to make sure that we give that to our team and to rein our clients in as well. And I think that's what clients need to realize. Again, as I said, we're not saving lives here. We're planning experiences. So let's make the experience of what we're doing to get the experience executed part of the experience and make that fun and enjoyable as we work together.
I was going to ask you about balance, whether that's something that you have, whether it's something you want. I know there's a lot of talk around like just busy, like glorifying. People feel like it's good to say, how are you? And your response has to be good. We're very busy. Everything's, some people though, I realize they thrive off of that. I am definitely the opposite of that, but I'll tell you have done a really good job of melding personal and professional, being able to have downtime with clients and,
and my friends in the business,
bring your friends into the business. How does it feel for you? Are you like craving more balance or you love it like this?
It's interesting that you mentioned that. So when people ask me, how are you? My response is fabulous. I'm always fabulous. And I think when you say the word fabulous, you just feel fabulous, even if you're not. Balance. I'm going to put this out there. No one's ever done this on your thing before. I am a nice Jewish single girl in New York City that you can't meet. I don't know why I haven't met so many people at all the events I go to in this profession. So I'm putting that out there to help you find the one. Because I found a lot of the ones, plural. So help me on that.
Okay.
And then my guilty pleasure is, and people know this, that if I'm not out and about, or even when I do, I come back home, I love to watch TV. And I'm a crazy Law and Order fan because I love seeing where it's all filmed in New York City. So haven't met Mariska Hargitay yet, which makes no sense because I've met so many other people. So I'm putting that out there to meet her as well. But do I want balance? Yeah, I feel that if we're innovating all these great experiences for clients, why aren't I doing that just with my husband and I don't know, some kids or a family? And I do love spending time with my family, and I love not making the plans and having them made for me. And I get to be a guest at their events. So I think maybe just balance be some tranquility with clients and that they don't wait so long to make decisions to engage us. We have an event on Thursday that we're still lock and loading, while those same team in the office working on that event for Thursday is doing a proposal for 2022. Seems a little, that's what I call not balanced. And a little imbalance and a little crazy. They need pricing for an event in 2022, and the client hasn't signed the contracts for the event in 2 days. That's where the imbalance comes in. So no, not the same client.
Oh, okay.
Same client, just and totally different. One's a retail brand, and then one is an incentive house. I mean, the type of scope of the events that we do on the corporate side vary. It could be a 4-hour event or a 4-day event, but trying to find the balance and get all those details together, not easy. So if someone has the answer, I would appreciate it. But thank you, Liz, for recognizing that I sort of live in this crazy imbalance. See, as the hands go around. But I attribute it to the friends of mine in this profession that kind of helped try to grab me. Jack, we're going out for a drink. Let it go and relax. So
yeah, that's great. I mean, you are a true rock star, and I've known. I think the industry would not be the same if you had too much more balance.
Love that. Okay, I'm always the last one to leave the event at the end of the night, and then we always go out afterwards. One of my team will say, "What are you doing tonight after work?" "Oh, I'm going to a little reception." Next thing, we were out till 2:00 in the morning. We were dancing on a bar. We met this great entertainer. We got to use him for this event. Every day is just so crazy like that.
I love it. I love it. And I love that you love it. I think that's awesome.
Well, thank you. I'm honored. I'm honored to be here. You're the hustler. Every time I turn around, Liz, there's something else you're doing. You're naming something else. You're doing another interview. You're doing your TECHSYTALK. You're reimagining your conference, didn't you? Your conference that you had for a couple of years. You've changed that. Pardon me for not knowing the specifics.
That's okay.
So I give a lot of credit for you. You and I are doing, as you like to say, rock star hustling things, but differently. And I think that's why we get along so well. And we have so much respect for each other. So I'm humble. So I love you. Thank you.
So I do want to respect your time. If people want to, I think
you can ask questions. I'm here, unless you got to go.
No, it's okay. I know there are people watching who already know you, obviously, because we've been getting great comments about how you are so amazing and you love Brooklyn and everyone loves you. But if there are people who are watching who don't know you, how's the best way for them to connect with you so that they can stay in the loop on all the great things that you're doing?
Well, you can call me direct. Isn't that crazy? Probably no one has ever done this before. I'm going to give you my phone number. Should I not do it?
Hey, it's totally
call me 917-559-7200. Obviously, you can email at Jaclyn. You see my name spelled like Jaclyn Smith. Bernstein at accessdmc.com. You can find me on Facebook under my name and Instagram, Jaclyn_Bernstein. Love to have followers. Love to hear comments. Don't just say something.
Yeah.
That's always fun.
And we'll post that contact information on the blog when we post the video as well. Are you one of those people, if they call you, you're actually going to answer?
Yes. So
You
I
don't
answer my
turn your
phone
phone calls?
all the time. Yeah, I answer my phone. And if I can't talk, I'll answer it. Even if I don't know the number, my feeling is, again, let's be expeditious. Let's get it done. Answer the phone, take care of it. Or I might use sorry, I can't talk right now because I'm on the other line or something. But yeah,
Yeah.
I want to get it done. And that's why when people ask, how are you? I always answer fabulous. And people say, how's business? My biggest answer is, I want more. I'm a business owner. Do you ever hear anyone say, I'm good, I'm full, we're done, we have enough? So, and the word good just, part of me sucks. It's not good. So be really honest and speak to people. That's where I've become in this profession, is by speaking to people and engaging people. I love it. And trust me, we all get tired and just need a night to just lay down, not talk to anybody. I get
Yeah.
it. But if you're not engaging with people live, I don't know how you can plan the events where people are engaging live. Again, there are people that aren't like me out there that do what they do much better than me. I have a team full of employees that do things much better than I do. But I want to connect with people to see what's next for me and our company.
Yeah, that live component is so important, not just for our clients, but I can see that that's how you've had an impact with your team and caring about those real relationships,
Mhm.
and it impacts how you even interact on social media, which is like the opposite of
Thank
live completely, but it has great potential to bring relationships into the real world. And I see we just got a new comment from Aaron, so I didn't even read it. What do you think the business of events looks like in 20 years, and what do you see as the biggest barrier to legitimizing our industry between now and then? Really big question from Aaron.
There's a lot of words in that question, Aaron. Um, Probably what it's going to be, and it's interesting if you look at my company. The company I own was a boutique DMC. We bought it, and then we bought into a bigger brand. That brand is, majority owned by private equity. And probably, I don't necessarily want to say it's a barrier, but I think what's going to change it is how, look now at retail, right? Everything is either a big box, and now some of those boxes are going away and people want to buy things online. So the consolidation and rolling up, even just in the destination management market, because I think the event companies, they're so varied, but in the DMC profession, you're starting to see, when I say bigger players, our particular footprint is 20 different offices domestically, but then we have relationships internationally. And there are some footprints that are just a little bit larger, a little bit smaller of DMCs, but clients are going to be wanting to buy brands, which is common, as again we see in retail, or whether it be clothing or cars or pharmaceuticals. So I think it's not so much a barrier. Well, maybe the barrier is for new people up and coming in the business that are coming out of your programs to start a company. That might not be as easy anymore. They're probably going to feel, I need to work for someone in order to grow in this profession. And there might be just smaller and smaller brands that are out there. And that then makes it either easier for the clients to just, this is who I'm going to utilize, because who I've always used, or it makes it more challenging for the clients to feel that maybe they're getting the best pricing or the best service, because there's really nowhere else to go. Sometimes like with an airline, not to knock the airlines, but I think you get the concept. Who else am I going to fly with? And who knows, maybe that will then in the 21st year have people say, I'm going to start my own company. It goes more grassroots, back to what it used to be. I would like to think that being part of a brand, I have to think I'm in it, is great for us. We have master service agreements with clients. Clients feel they're getting consistency from working in, the San Diego office and the New York office, where we could be so vastly different as people and destinations, but the best practices and formatting and all. So I don't think I answered your question, because what do I know what's going to happen in 20 years? Did I know I'd be sitting here, 5 years into buying my company? I would hope so. But I think that's a great comment of Aaron, thinking about how that's going to work. And I think transparency and pricing and being paid based on your fee and your value. And I don't want to say negotiating, because negotiating always sounds negative, but collaborating with your client and deciding what is the value of what we're going to do. Oh, you want to pay a couple of dollars less? Then we won't handle that part. You will. Okay, that was a great collaboration. We came to a logistical, decision on how this event is going to be executed. So I think we're going to see more of that as we move forward. And we're going to see a lot more of these students that Liz and myself have talked to. I mean, some of these students now were not even born. They were born after September 11th, right?
Yeah.
Are going to, which is mind-boggling, are going to come up in the industry, and they'll have new things to input. And technology, Aaron, even your question, technology in the way we communicate, and technology in the events that we're that are happening, projection mapping, whatever's out there, check-in, your name badge when you walk by the booth, they're able to shout out, hey, I know you like this, because they read something in your name badge. I mean, it's scary, which you might not see. I don't know if you could see it up here. There's a sticker here that says Jaclyn Bernstein, Access New York, but the logo, the title position says fun person. Someone put that on my name badge at an event, and I just stuck it up here. But we've come a long way from sticky name badges, haven't we?
Yeah. I mean, it's so interesting to think about the future, because there are so many different ways that things could go. And I think your comment about the consolidation I can say from the event tech side, we see that all the time.
Yes.
These companies that, there were 100 of them and now there's 3 big ones, and they're buying up everybody. And it'll be really interesting to see how that impacts. You mentioned retail. Will it kind of go the other way eventually, where people are tired of seeing the same 5 companies and they're not the ones who are innovating as fast? And so, now you're seeing the trend of these big stores going out of business because, people are buying on Etsy and they prefer the in-person connection. But I feel like our industry is always at least 20 years behind other industries.
That's true.
Like you said, 20 years ago, it wasn't a defined industry. So of course we're not, this at the same place as other industries. But I wonder if we're going to follow those same trends, or, buck the tradition and do our own thing.
Well, and our company is a hybrid of that, because as much as that we are part of a major brand, and again, the brand that coined the term destination management, we're still a privately held company here in New York. So we get to have that, make certain decisions, homegrown, very proud of that, what we've done here in this profession, but being surrounded by what clients might say, I worked with your access office here, I'm going to work with you there. Again, this was not about selling this brand and having this conversation. I'm trying to answer the question. That's how clients think. And what's interesting about that is that when we're in bid situations, again, let's not just use us, anyone, the client might say, I've worked with this particular brand in the past, I need to get a bid, what can I get from you? And again, it's not about touting what you're better at. No, none of us, we all do the same fabulous work. I have friends in all the different brands. The other brands sometimes refer us as well. And all of us, our meet and greeter at the airport might hold the sign a little crooked and we screwed something up. I'm admitting it here. We are not, infallible in what the work that we do. But that the client has to then dig in deeper to say, I've always used this brand, but this is why I want to go here. I've always bought these kind of sneakers. I'm going to try this particular time. So we have to be very innovative and clever. And maybe I saw her on Facebook and look at that crazy thing she did this weekend, or she posted being out with her family somewhere. I want to work with those people. You want to engage with the people that are not, we're still big and powerful, but that as a brand, but that then there's a homey aspect. Again, the live connection.
Yeah,
that's what we're doing here.
Exactly. So, this is what makes the difference. I fully believe it. These in-person conversations, not the Event Hustler show in particular, just any in-person conversation. But anyway, it has been so great chatting with you, and we probably should wrap up for today. I'll make sure to post this episode on our blog along with Jackie's contact information, including her phone number. In case
my God.
You reach out to her.
That's because you're helping me get together with that nice, cute guy.
Yes, if we can get a nice, cute guy. I should make an ad with this video and put your phone number at the bottom, and we'll make it happen.
Make it happen. That's a mantra of us at our company. We make it happen.
I believe very much in that. So thank you so much for your time and for joining us and sharing all of your amazing knowledge. And thank you to all the people who have been watching today and sharing your comments and questions. Always good to see you guys. And I guess that's it. We will be back next week with another episode at 10:30 a.m. Eastern. And until then, I hope you all hustle hard, enjoy everything you're doing in the industry. And as Jackie said, keep learning every day.
Yes.
Thanks again, Jackie.
Thank you. Love you all. Love you, Liz.
Bye.